Hello, you guys, and thank y'all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Journey Podcast, where I am your host, Kiara. So good to see you guys another week. I'm so excited about this week's episode. As always, thank you guys again throughout the week for the feedback that you guys have given, for the new followers, the new subscribers. We're going to jump into this week's announcements, and then we're going to jump into this week's episode. So we're on episode 6. I don't know. Do y'all include the icebreaker as an actual episode because it was 6, even though it was 6 minutes long? Let me know. Anyways, to the announcements. We are on different platforms. We're on the new platform that we're on that I was talking about last week. This week's episode and the previous episodes are going to air today on Castbox. That is the platform that I had someone reach out and say that they already are currently have a lineup of podcasts that they listen to, and so I listened, I heard, and I delivered. And so yes, Castbox is our new platform that we're on, but we're also on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and YouTube, of course. So on all of those platforms, type in the Journey Podcast, and KISSUM. So that's going to get you to the actual channel. Add it to your favorites so that you are here and tuned in. We're going to have something new coming out next week, guys. I'm so super excited about it. So I'll announce that next week once it starts. And yeah. Other than that, if you'd like to be a guest, please let me know. Reach out. Go on the website at thejourneypodcast.life and click the link that says be a guest. That sends an email to me. I will get back to you before the day is over. If you want a faster response, text the hotline at 770-802-1200, and I will respond to you almost instantly at my earliest convenience, but it's going to be before the end of the day, of course. Just to add to that, guys, if you have any questions on what it looks like to be a guest, what's going to happen, how it happens, let me know. If you're nervous, shy, or anything of that nature, this is not a live recording. This is pre-recorded, and so you'll have a chance to look at it before and give it the green light. If not, then I'll have something else, in mind that I could just do if you not feeling the episode that we recorded, and so forth and so on. So just let me know. Love you guys always. So let's go ahead and jump into this week's episode. This week actually has been a long week for me, so I just was like, I gotta get this together because I am definitely making it my business to keep showing up. I do appreciate you guys for the encouragement that you gave me, because now it's like, okay, I'm making it my business to really yeah, I'm here, okay, I'm present. Here, check, I'm here. So this week's episode is about the different steps in each journey that I've taken on, and I can, like I always say, I'm only speaking from my own personal experience. I can't speak for anyone else. But if there's something that you have, different steps that you've noticed that trend in the journeys that you take on, let me know. I love a good conversation. I love just hearing other people's perspectives. So, but for me, let's go over it. And of course, I'm going to put everything into perspective and just kind of make it make sense to you, so you can just allow it to resonate with you as well. So 4 steps. Like I said, I'm going to go into details on each one of them, and we'll let you know what the 4 steps are. So first things first, the first step is for me is realizing that there's a journey that needs to be taken. The next is actually taking the necessary steps. The third one is focusing. And the last one is actually getting to, well, I want to say maybe it's 5 steps. Okay. So the next step, number 4, is getting to where you need to go. And then the last step is actually being where you want it to be. So let's go. First step, realizing that there's a journey that needs to be taken. That for me, what that looks like is just coming to the realization, okay, I've outgrown this season of my life. It's time for something new. It's time for something better. It's time for something more. Um, and that's me realizing, okay, yeah, it's time to get uncomfortable again. It's time to, it's time for me to make that move where I can grow. There's growth in growth that needs to be done. I don't know why that little white. Okay. So knowing that you need to grow, that's just what that looks like. Just realizing that there's a journey that needs to be taken on. So it's exactly what it says, for that one. And the next step is actually taking the necessary steps. So what that step looks like is stepping out of your comfort zone and just getting uncomfortable. Um, because when you are taking the steps to having something new or having something better, or whatever the case may be, you're going to have to start doing things differently. So the things that you're used to doing, obviously you've outgrown those things. They're not working for you anymore, and so forth and so on. And so now it's time to step out of my comfort zone. And that is not always easy. Sometimes when you step out of your comfort zone, you it's so foreign that you feel the need to take a step back because like ooh no nah, and you're learning. And so in this step, it's definitely important to give yourself grace. Grace is a big thing in this step where you have to do it. Like, you have to realize, like, okay, I've never been here before. I've never done this before. And so, because I know what I want, I know what my goal is, um, I have to take these steps. These steps are necessary. And so I wanted to tell you guys a little story really quick. Um, and it might sound silly, but it to me it made sense, and hopefully to you it does too. So I was going somewhere. It's gonna be like 45-minute drive, and so I don't like to ride around with like trash in my car. So I stopped by the dumpster on the way out of the neighborhood because I wanted to throw the trash away. So it was some food that I had. It just was the bag or whatever in the cup. The cup was empty. The bag was empty. Well, the bag had the wrappers in it or whatever. And so a fly got in the car. Y'all, flies are so annoying, and they make this noise. Zzz. And sometimes when you can't see them, but you still can hear them, and it's like, ugh, please hush, just stop. And so it was so hot outside. I was like, I'm not riding no 45 minutes with no windows down for no fly. So the fly was very respectful. And it stayed in the back. It stayed in the back while I was driving, and so when I got to where, like, close by where I was going, I stopped by Chick-fil-A to get more food because I don't know why, but I like to eat in the car. Maybe because sometimes I like to eat in the car when the kids ain't in the car. Because when they're in the car, they be start, Mama, can I have a french fry? And so here I was. I got to Chick-fil-A. I turned the AC on. Well, the AC already was on, but I want all the windows down. And so I was like, I'm gonna just be hot for a little minute or whatever. Let this fly out. So when I was thinking about it, I was like, dang, this fly rolled 45 minutes away from home. So this fly is being forced to get out of its comfort zone because at this point it done got comfortable in the car just flying around, and it already know I'm about to go back home later. So you gonna be back with your compadres in a minute, little fly. But that was not the case because I wanted something new for the fly. Get out. So here I was. The fly got out, and I hurried up and wound the windows back up. So now the fly is not going back to its environment that it was comfortable in, and it was out of its comfort zone, and it now is forced to get to know new flies. Because while that was a 45-minute drive for me, who's to say that 45 minutes in human life is not 45 years in fly life? And so here it is, the flies being forced to adapt to a new environment. And Chick-fil-A is really clean, so there was nothing stink going on. I'm sure they have trash, but still. it just was different. The dumpster is stink, and so now I gotta find a new dumpster that it's never met before, and gotta get new fly friends, and so forth and so on. So here it is, being forced to take the necessary steps to something new and rebuilding. So I looked, like I said, I like to look at things in other perspectives, where and so what if you were to fly? Like, dang, that's tough. Not having no choice, because here we are. We're afforded the opportunity to be able to start over somewhere where we're comfortable. That fly didn't have no choice. It's like, no, you're not going back. You probably don't even know how to get back to where you started from. But here we are. We get the opportunity to start over. And like I always tell people, if it's okay if you have to start over sometimes. The most important step, the most essential step, is realizing that you need to grow. Realizing that you need to do better, be better, or whatever the case may be, or realizing that staying in that same position at that job, it's time enough for that. It's time for you to come on up a little higher and do something different. It's time to no longer be stagnant. And so that's the most important step. So when you're starting to take the necessary steps, sometimes you do have to take a step back. And in that, you take it as, oh, not like you lost, but you learned something. So you learned something at the least from taking the necessary steps. So if those steps didn't work for you, what could you have done differently? The fact that you even took a step is bold, because there's strength in that. There's strength in trying. Even if you fail, the fact that you tried is it makes you stronger, so that next time when you have to try, um you have a little insight on where you're going, on what this journey looks like. And so actually taking the steps is important. And like I said, even if you have to start over again and again and again. And so I was looking at this girl's TikTok, and she had been on drugs, and I think, like, she was like, okay, day 3 of drug free or whatever, and somebody commented and was like, this the 40th day 3. And so what is her 40th day 3? It's not the end. She didn't give up. you know Sometimes you do have to keep on. Sometimes an addiction, it doesn't matter what you're addicted to. You could be addicted to drugs, you could be addicted to a person, you could be addicted to poverty, you could be addicted to anything. And so realizing that this addiction is no good is the first step, and that's the most important step. So now you know that you have to try. And so she was like, the girl commented, "This is the 40th day 3," and someone said something that was it was so good. And it was so simple, but it was so good. And and it was a guy. He said, "How about you remove yourself? That way you don't have to witness another day 3. That way you don't have to worry about if there's another day 3." That is so, like, it's okay. Like, it doesn't, and it doesn't make her a bad person for being tired of the fact that she's been there supporting her. Obviously she was a freak, someone that supported her, because she was there 40 day 3s. You've been there, you've been around, you've been around for a little minute, so that's good. And thank you for being around for however long you had the capacity to be around. And if you are tired, that does not make you a bad person. Sometimes you do need to lose people to see, like, oh man, I done lost everybody. And so here I am. I know that there's a problem. I've identified the problem. I know that there's a need for growth. I've identified that. And so here I am, now I'm losing people, and now I don't have that much people that are encouraging me, because people are walking away now because maybe their journey doesn't align with yours. And that's okay. That doesn't make you a bad friend for needing to distance yourself from somebody. That doesn't make you a bad friend for needing to part ways with somebody that just isn't progressing on their journey. Somebody that might just be a little stagnant on their journey. That doesn't make them a bad person for being stagnant, but it doesn't make you a bad person for not being able to be there. That's okay. It's okay for you to choose your journey and what your path and what's most important to you at the time. Not saying that what they're going through isn't important, but you have to value yourself. It's important to value yourself. And so when you're valuing yourself, you have to sometimes that looks like leaving some people alone, um I like to look at it as everybody's on their own journey. Everybody's living their own lives. While it might have been easier as kids to kind of just be on the same journey with somebody because you really don't have too much going on as a child. As an adult, some of our friends have kids, some of them don't. Some of them have more kids than others. I gave birth to 7 children, and so I have my best friend only has 2. We are obviously we're obviously doing different things. And so some things that she may be able to do, I might not be able to do. Some things that I might find more important, she might not find as important, and that's okay. We are still friends. This even though even though that's the narrative, I still am her friend. And we're on different journeys. I'm still her friend. I still it's okay. It's okay for you to be on different journeys from people. But sometimes in some instances where it is a little unfortunate, sometimes you do have to let some people go and do what it is that they value, and focus on what it is that they value, and that's okay. It's okay. That does not make you a bad friend for not being able to be there for me. Because I understand that you have a life too, and you have things that are important for you too, and you have people depending on you as well. And so it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't make you a bad friend for you to not be able to be there in a time where I'm stagnant. And it, like I said, it doesn't make you a bad person for being stagnant. If you're not ready, then you're not ready, and that's okay. Your journey is yours for a reason. Sometimes we go through things a little longer for us to just, for us to just really learn. Some of us have a hard head, and some of us, it takes us a little longer to learn things. Sometimes we got to go through a little more than somebody else did. While I might have a lower tolerance for some things, you might have a high tolerance for that, I don't know. And so it's okay. That doesn't make you a bad sister, a bad cousin, a bad friend, a bad mom, dad, whatever the case may be. Um, when you have to take the necessary steps, what that looks like is doing what's best for you. You have to do what's best for you. Um, Regardless of whether you have to walk alone in doing that, or if you do keep you do keep somebody in your corner that that can be there for you, that's able to be there for you. And then you also, like I said, have to give yourself that grace. You have to remember, I've never been here before. This is new to me. So I probably am going to make mistakes in this step, but I'm going to learn something. I'm not going to intentionally make mistakes, but my goal is to learn something and to grow in this stage. Um, and so that takes us to the next step where you have to focus. Um, when you have decided that you want better, or you're going to do better, or you're going to value yourself and you're going to make better decisions for yourself, when you make that decision and you start taking the necessary steps, distractions are gonna come. What's important is to be able to identify when a distraction is presenting itself. You have to be able to identify, you know what? I'm on this journey. Here I am trying to do better for myself, trying to be the best version of myself, trying to be a better employee, trying to be a better mom, trying to be a better wife, trying to be a better friend. And here comes these distractions. You have to be able to identify the distractions and call them what they are, a distraction. And don't be so consumed by the distraction. Don't let the distraction make you have to start over on the journey. Don't allow the distraction make you forfeit the journey, make you say, you know what, I'm not doing this again. This comes with too much. My friend keeps reminding me, to whom much is given, much is required. And so here you are having to endure a little bit more than you're used to. And it's a little uncomfortable, but there's growth in this time of being uncomfortable. There's wisdom in this time of being uncomfortable. And here you are saying, oh man, why is all this stuff happening? Sometimes this stuff is happening to see, like, are you capable of focusing on what's where you're going? Are you capable of getting there? Which takes us to the next step, getting to where you're going. So here you are, you're trying hard with all these distractions, to all these foreign steps. You've already like made it plain, hey, no, you know what, it's time to grow. And so this is what I gotta do. It's time to stop complaining about my situation and let's make it better. The main person, it starts with you at the end of the day. It starts with you. You gotta want to make it better. You have to be okay with the endurance, with what you endure along the way. It's gonna be hard, and so here you are. These distractions are coming up, and so you're finding it complicated to get to where you would like to be and where you feel like you deserve. You feel it in your soul, like, I'm supposed to be better. I'm supposed to have this. I'm supposed to be further. You're supposed to be exactly where you are. Let's start with that. You're supposed to be right where you are. At this time, everything happens the way it happens because that's how it's supposed to happen, and it happens when it's supposed to happen. So you are where you're supposed to be. You're learning, you're growing, and this is a part of the journey. And so here you are, you're questioning, why is all these things happening to me? Like, what if these things are happening on this journey to build character, to build the capability to maintain who you are when you become who you want to be, or when you get to your destination in this journey. And so what if these things that are happening are to make you better, to give you the ability to maintain what you've been blessed with, where you get when you get where you're going. What if these things, these arguments, these difficult times, these financial issues, what if these are all preparation, instead of instead of it being anything like to stop you from getting there? So what if it's preparing you to be there, to stay there, until it's time for you to grow again. Um, and and so here you are, you're going through all these things to get to where it is that you'd like to be, and then there's the distractions are trying to stop you from getting there. You got to think about it. Every time for me, I can speak for myself, like I always say, when I notice, like, I'm fired up. I'm like so into. I'm like, yes, I can do this. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be great. I'm fully capable. When I realize and I'm able to identify my worth, and I'm trying to get to where I know that I'm going to be. I'm supposed to be. You notice all these things are coming up against you, and so when you lay down and you give up, you forfeit the journey. You say, you know what, I'm okay with being stagnant. I'm okay with being where I was. I'm okay with not having more. I'm okay with all of that. I'm okay with the chaos. I'm okay with the dysfunction. I'm okay with everything that I do not like. because I'm not going to do what I need to do to get where I'm going. I got to focus. I got to take the necessary steps. And I have to do all of that after just realizing that this is not it anymore. I need better. I want better. I deserve better. I'm worth that. I'm worthy of that. Um, and so here you are, you're getting to where you are now. People are reminding you of who you used to be and who you don't want to be anymore. Oh, you talking different. Or, oh, you acting different. Oh, you changing. Yes, I am. Thank you for noticing. I'm so grateful that you noticed. Look at you. You're a good friend. I love you. I don't know why people try to make you feel like changing is bad. Change is good. Change can be good, especially when it's for the better. Sometimes some changes aren't good, so we can say that. But here I am. I know for a fact that you notice that I'm changing because I'm not doing something that I used to do that I didn't even like that I did. So let's say, for instance, say you're the family member that everybody calls when it's time to get into a fight. Girl, or bro, let me tell you what happened. Such and such, and they're used to you ready to. What? I'm on the way. I'm coming. But instead you respond, you know what? I really wish that such and such could be better. Maybe we could talk to her, or maybe we could talk to him, or maybe we could, go about it a different way. I know and instead of them like being like, you right, they be like, whoop that tree. They want you to be that person. When they know, say you the person that likes to gossip, and then somebody call you, girl, let me tell you about what such and such, or boy, let me tell you what such and such, let me tell you about this man, let me tell you about bro. And so they used to you feeding into it, and when you don't, they mad. They mad you changed. They mad you don't want to be that person no more. They're mad that you don't indulge in those things anymore. And so here you are, trying to get to where you need to go, and you're trying to change. You're trying to be better, and they're reminding you of who you used to be. Well, you used to woulda whooped them. You used to woulda did this. Okay, well, I don't want to do that anymore. I feel like I'm going in another direction. And so the consequences of me doing XYZ are not consequences that I'm willing to pay the price for. And so, and so, and also, like, just the person on the other end, be that friend, be that person that notices that they're different. And say, I'm proud of you. You know what? I called you, and this was my motive when I called you, but I'm glad that you didn't, because that helped me. Allow somebody else's journey to help you. And allow yourself to grow. When you see other people growing, that should influence you to want to, okay, you know what? She right, or he right. We don't need to be doing this no more. Let's do something different, And so that's okay. And so that takes us to the very last step that I wanted to talk about. Actually being where it is that you fought hard to get, because after all those things, you felt like, it's time to tap out now. But here you are, you made it, and you've been through all those things, and that has built character, that has prepared you to maintain where you are. Imagine if everything that you ever participated in, you just won easily. It was no challenge, it was no pushback, no, just everything just was like, here. Like when you were little and everybody participated in something at school and everybody got a trophy just because they were a participant. Like, yes, you're the best, even though you participated, but you sucked. You did a bad job. You did a really bad job. You didn't remember what you were supposed to be doing or why you were even up there, but you got a trophy anyway. Just because. And so here it is, all those things you went through have prepared you to be where you are. And so remember what you've been through. Remember the price that you paid to get to where you are. Remember that you fought hard to get here, This journey was not easy. And so here you are now, you're in a place where you value it because it was a challenge. It was a fight. It was it was worth it, you know. It was worth the rebuilding that you had to do, the changing of your mind, the dying to yourself, the dying to the old ways and the old thoughts, and the old habits. um you paid a price to get here, and so be grateful in that. And even if you're on the journey, while you're on a journey, know that consistency is key. The fact that you're working hard, you know you're working towards something. And so sometimes it's so close that you can taste it, you know. uh I've been listening to this song this week, and if you guys get a chance, I don't know what kind of music you're into. I kind of listen to just about anything, really, especially it depends on the message. And so I don't like to just listen to like foolishness. But I do. I was listening to this song by Marvin Sapp, and it was called "Close." And in the song, it says, "I must be close to my destiny. I must be close um, to what you have for me. 'Cause here comes um, confusion and trouble and all these other issues and stuff." And it's a really good song. And so I was listening to it, and as I was listening to it, I was like, you know what, God is so good. Because here I am, you know, thinking about all the things that were happening. Like I said, this week was really long for me. And so it definitely influenced this week's episode. And so here we are. Um, Here I am, you know, trying to be obedient, trying to walk in what I feel like what I've felt led to do. And here come all these things just coming up, trying to come against me, trying to distract me, trying to discourage me. And I'm making it my business to continue to show up in every single aspect. And I challenge you this week, despite what's going on, it doesn't matter what the issue is. It doesn't matter if the issue is like I said, it doesn't matter what it is. Whatever the issue is, um, believe that this journey, the things that are happening, are to make you better, to build that character, um, to build the ability to maintain in where you're going. Just stay consistent, y'all. Don't give up. If you have to start over, that's fine. Start over, but don't give up. Um, don't don't be discouraged. Be encouraged. Be strong. Be who you've been called to be unapologetically. Despite who you lose along the way, despite who you, oh, and not only do you lose people along the way sometimes, unfortunately, but you gain people along the way. And sometimes those people are the people that you need. Believe that the tools that you will need on whatever journey it is that you're on, they will be provided for you. Because it just, like when I say it's that's what it's been. The things and the people that I've prayed for, they have come along on this journey. I've made friends that I didn't, you know, I've wanted to make that I've wanted to make or whatever. Um, excuse me. And I've been able to maintain friendships that are healthy, and reciprocation is there, and maintain relationships with family members where that are healthy. The communication is healthy, and I'm able to express myself and so forth and so on. So in that, just know that everything that happens is supposed to happen, and there's nothing that you could have done to prevent it from happening. There's nothing that you should have done differently. You did what you were supposed to do, and that in itself is enough, you know. Let that be enough, okay? And so I hope you guys have a good week. I hope that this week is all that you've planned for it to be, and then some, because you deserve it. Thank you for showing up for me. Thank you for being supportive. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the people that are coming up to be guests. I'm so excited for that, y'all. The community is growing. We're at 100. We're at 100 subscribers on YouTube, so that's so cool. That's a big thing for me. Cause it's only been a month, and these people are like just people that people that just want to grow, that want to come on the journey. And so encourage somebody else to come on in and share their journey, or to come listen. Maybe something that I share resonates with you, and give me that feedback. Let me know how it does, and let me know how this week's episode helps you, if it does, or if you just enjoyed it. That's enough. Just let me know you're here. um, I love you guys so much. Thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate your time and your dedication to the community. Y'all have the best week. See you later.